Hi everyone, this is Heidi. I'm a counsellor, psychotherapist, and you are listening to We Are All Fine, acronym for Flawed, Insecure, Nervous and Emotional. This is your podcast for young people and young adults who want to feel heard, welcomed and part of a world where being fine is being okay. It's episode 7 and I'm going to tell you 7 ways to stop caring and worrying about something you cannot control, and that is how others see and judge you. You can start practicing these 7 techniques today, so stay tuned for the next 20 minutes. This really could well change the way you think. Before we come to that, however, this week, let's start with the question for a counsellor, because it really ties in with today's topic about how we can stop fearing the opinions of others. The question is, how can I stop suppressing emotion? Suppressing emotions means actively avoiding or ignoring your own feelings rather than processing them or expressing them. So if we have a fear of people's opinions, there's a likelihood you're going to suppress some of those difficult emotions. We suppress our emotions for a number of reasons. In my opinion, society expectations, that features massively in my practice, past experiences, or a perceived need for self-protection. We're always trying to protect ourselves, remember. Our brain has your back. So if there's a difficult emotion tapping on your brain's door, your gate's going to be firmly closed. If we don't let out what we should do, of course it's going to cause backed up traffic, and you are going to have one hell of a mental traffic jam in your brain. Your mental health is going to be affected if you can't express how you think and feel. This is going to lead to anxiety, depression. You're definitely going to have an increase in stress levels. Your physical health, oh my gosh, think about headaches, stomach aches, chronic illnesses. Your body holds the score, holds the trauma. If you're suppressing difficult, unprocessed emotion, your body is going to hold it and it's going to feel tense. And I would say it's going to affect your relationships. You're not going to find it easy to connect with others, and you won't build those healthy, valued relationships you need to grow and survive. My cat has just jumped onto my desk, so if there's any kind of background furry noises, it's not me, it's him. His name is Boo. The next time you'll feel an uncomfortable emotion you want to suppress or scream about, or try doing the following. Notice where the emotion shows up in your body. What are the sensory qualities? Now, by that I mean, is it hot? Is it tense? Is it heavy? Small? Where does it feel? Does it feel, sticky? Does it feel stuck somewhere? Think about the texture, its shape. Is it in your arms, your chest, your throat, your fingers? Often anger can manifest in our fingers, on our toes. Just check in. Take that few seconds to just ask yourself what that emotion is trying to tell you. You know it's in your body, you know it's making a noise, it's sitting somewhere. What does it need from you? It probably just needs some kind of reassurance or acknowledgement. I try to explore with my clients what it might feel like to thank the emotion for the information it's trying to give you, rather than suppress it further. Invite the emotion to come on board with you, maybe in your back pocket or in your handbag or in the back of your phone as you go about pursuing your daily objectives and obligations. It's there. It's part of me. I'm going to just be with it rather than let it stay deep, deep down within me. The more we recognise, allow and make space for our emotions, the greater the tolerance will be, and we can build up a resistance to them. Rather than suppress them, they're there, invite them in, give them a name and let them see what they're trying to say to you. I hope that really helped you. I mean, we all do it, myself included. We all keep the difficult feelings down. We're probably scared of rejection, failure, vulnerability. Or there'll be a number of reasons why we do it. It's only going to be helpful if we can not do that and bring that emotion to the surface. Okay, let's start with episode 8. My goodness me, that's 8 weeks. Thank you for everybody who's reached out. I'm still finding my way through all of this. I've got no idea what the difference is between an algorithm and a hashtag. So I appreciate those of you following me on YouTube, making comments on all of the social media channels. It's been brilliant, but it's been incredibly scary. So this is episode 8, and I hope there are many more to come. I'll start with something a little personal. When I was about 11 years old, I started to become really aware of how I looked, and I compared myself with my friends. I just started secondary school and was one of the only ones from primary school that went up. Gosh, if this is you, I have total empathy. I had no idea at this stage, but already it was day one. I remember getting off the bus, just staring round. Everybody was talking to everybody else, and I just stood out straight away from the others. My self-worth, and if you want more information about that, we chatted about it in episode 7. My self-worth was already pretty poor. My confidence wasn't great either. I was out to fit in, not stand out. But as time went by, I didn't achieve any of these things. The opposite happened. I stood out, and I did not find my tribe in any of those corridors. I was always the plan B girl that others would have lunch with if they couldn't find their mates. I'd just float around and people floated next to me. I would wander around on my own, picking up the other stragglers that no one wanted to be friends with. I just didn't fit in, and I know some of you listening would have had the same experience of me in year 7. Scrap that. You might have had that experience all throughout secondary school even. It's such a brutal place to be if you struggle with your confidence and your self-belief. Thankfully, year 7 and year 8 were vile, but I did eventually move school about, maybe 100 miles away to a different school. So I walked in there. I'll never forget it. It was in geography. I was obviously, maybe lesson 1, lesson 2. They opened the door. They introduced me to everybody. My face was beyond scared. Everything was kicking off inside of me. I share this with you because during my early adolescence, both of the secondary schools that I attended, albeit very fleetingly at one, I always felt different from the others around me. I was convinced at this time, and this went on for over a decade. Now, bear in mind I was 13, but I was absolutely convinced that my face was way too round. Sounds kind of silly sharing this now on social media with you. I felt terrible. I was looking at my face day after day in the mirror, and I just saw this huge round moon face look back at me. Everyone else had such a perfect face shape except me, heart-shaped, oval. I became absolutely obsessed with how others saw me and what I felt they saw of my face. I tried everything I could to change the shape of my face. Exercises, stretches, diets, hair around the front of it, fringe grown down. I tried everything. And thinking about this podcast today when I was putting it together has brought back those awful feelings of inadequacy and me feeling and being so unattractive and ugly compared to others. What I saw when I looked in that mirror was my ugly, round-shaped face. That's how I perceived others saw me too. I felt repulsive and I hid my features. I could never do my makeup, goodness me, but I would grow my hair around my face, and I would probably wasn't called contouring back then, but I tried everything I could to redesign my sculpture. I was on this absolute mission to fit in and be liked. By trying to achieve this, I made myself so unwell and ended up under a mental health professional. I can't remember if it was a psychiatrist or a psychologist, but I remember having to explain to him, and oh gosh, he was probably psychoanalyzing me at the time. Now, bearing in mind now, I would have probably been about 15, 16. And I remember him looking at me and trying to assess me. This was a long time ago, but this obsession with my face made me anxious and totally depressed. As a therapist now, I can fully see what I was doing and why, and now I'm much more accepting of the way I look. I'm not beautiful in any way, and you've seen the shape of my face if you've seen me on social media. It's still round, it's sagged a bit round the edges with age, but I really don't care as much now about its shape. I'm guessing some of you who are listening, I've shared my story there. You'll be able to understand what I was feeling about myself. I hear it daily in my room. The amount of you are convinced you're either fat or ugly with a big nose or big legs. Hone in on parts of yourself you find disgusting and different from others around you. It's hard to hear, but I've real empathy, because I can remember being stuck, like I said, for years in that space, and nobody was going to convince me otherwise. But the really sad thing about my story, and maybe yours, no one ever told me I had a round face. I did. I told myself that part of me was abhorrent, and the amount of energy I spent on infatuating about my face caused me to struggle for years. I look back now and I'm sad for my younger self, and I want to give her a hug and tell her to stop being so hard on herself. No one's thinking the way you are. Yes, your face might be rounder than somebody else's, but I amplified it beyond all gravity. Even if I could give her a hug, my little year 8 or year 9 self, she'd have never listened. She'd have shrugged me off. She knew best. She cared too much about what others thought of her. And that's exactly what became my focus. Other people's opinions. What you think is way more important than me. Michael Gervais, who is a popular psychologist, describes FOPO. So it's not FOMO, FOPO. And this is fear of people's opinions. It's fantastic. Great acronym. He describes this as an exhaustive attempt to interpret what others are thinking in an effort to avoid negative evaluation by them. I was ultimately trying to manage how others saw me. I absolutely couldn't. If I can guarantee you 2 things, you are going to die, thing 1. Thing 2, you will never ever control how other people think of you. But by trying to do that, I unraveled, I became undone, all the while believing the world saw me the way I did, and I was really, really wrong. Now, that was my story, so thank you for listening to it. But let me gently ask you to explore yours. What cycle of thought are you stuck in, that stuck, trapped space where you always believe what you think about yourself, other people share that opinion? Just think about what it is now that spikes you. While you do that, I'll just take a moment for this week's therapy thought. Do me a massive favour and remember this. Everybody makes mistakes. Perfection is impossible. Scrap it. By all means, strive to be excellent, but you will never get to perfection. Expecting that is futile, but more importantly, judgment for failing to attain perfection is unproductive, unfair on you, and completely unhelpful. You will never pull anything useful from this experience. Keep in mind that anyone who thinks badly of you for making some small slip-ups or whatever else you might be wearing or say something stupid has absolutely made mistakes themselves. Moreover, remember this, making mistakes, college, work, school, personal relationships, always leads to an important path of self-growth. Every time you think you've made a mistake, remember somebody else has, and look at them as learning opportunities. You're a regular human being growing up in a mad, frantic, chaotic, demanding world. We're all going to be at fault somewhere. That doesn't make you bad. It doesn't make you stupid. It makes you you. Embrace the imperfections. As it's episode 7, here are 7 ways to help you stop worrying about how others think of you. Number 1, identify your triggers. Part of the breaking the FOPO cycle is being aware of what triggers you need for validation from others in the first place. Once you can identify these triggers, you are more easily able to address them instead of using them as an excuse for why your self-worth has to come from outside sources. If you find yourself comparing your life to someone else's because they seem to have the perfect relationship or the best nights out, remind yourself that you're comparing their outsides to your insides. I bloody love this phrase. Remember it. It immediately reminds you what you're doing. You're judging yourself based on what you see on TikTok, which is only a partial reality. I bet you don't put your worst moments on social media, do you? I'll only put a video up when I'm happy with the makeup and I'm wearing something half decent. Before I launched this podcast, I was not on any social media at all. I had no clue how to make a TikTok video, what made a good one, a bad one, the bloody lighting. It was a nightmare. I really didn't know what I was doing. But I think of it this way. If I was worried about how others thought of me, there is no way in this world I would put any kind of TikTok on anywhere or any kind of video on anywhere. So I'm taking a risk, but actually I don't know what people are saying about me. Yes, I'll get the odd comment and the odd heart in the corner of a screen, but I don't know what people are really saying behind my back, do I? I can't control that. Which leads me on to the second tip, opinions. They only belong to you. My opinion belongs to me. If you are allowing other people's opinions to live rent-free in your head, why? They aren't yours. You're stealing them. Other people's opinions are subjective. That's their own perception, and they've every right to that. I'm a cat person more than a dog person. You might be a dog person. Doesn't make me right, does it? Doesn't make you right. It just makes us who we are. And I respect your opinion, so you respect mine, but I don't want to own it. When you start laying on other people's opinions, one on top of the other in your brain, I think that's when you can start to get into trouble. So try and separate out others' opinions from yours. Keep hold of yours and dismiss those that don't belong to you. Tip 3, you are trying to control the uncontrollable. You are never going to stop how others think or feel about you. We already know that just opinions of other people and they're entitled to them, but it doesn't mean they're correct. Why are you trying to control something that you will never do? Think of all the energy and time it's taking up trying to do something you're never going to achieve. You may as well try and pull the sun out of the sky. So take a step back and remember that you can't do anything about how other people think and feel. Tip number 4, ask yourself how authentic you are as a person. We use the word congruence in counselling. It means genuine. Being true to yourself. And many people come into counselling as they're not being their true selves, their real versions of who they should be. They're trying to please others, saying and doing what they feel that person or that situation wants them to be. So ask yourself this question: are you a chameleon, easily and frequently changing your attitude and purpose? If you are, which is really okay, it's normal, we're all doing it, you're shortchanging yourself, and more importantly, you're taking away crucial quality parts of your mental health that you're going to need. You're unique, and there is only one of you in the billions of people on this planet. If your environment and friendship group is not allowing you to be that real version of yourself, is it not time you moved on? Declutter your social wardrobe. Which leads me on to number 5. Stop surrounding yourself with negative people. There are 2 types of people in this world. There are drains and there are radiators. And think about who you need in your inner circle and who's in there already. Are they draining you of everything that you bring to that, or are they bringing warmth and comfort to you instead? Calibrate your friendships. Are you making the most effort to meet or nurture these friendships as well? What are you putting in? What are you getting out of these groups? Are you the one who messages and texts and doesn't get the reply? Is it your birthday they're forgetting? Friendship culling is such a fantastic way of taking back control of your social life. Self-care. Unfriending or even blocking will make you feel much calmer and instill a level of confidence that you are important, your opinions matter, and you're not taking on board theirs. Think about what we just said. You're going to be in control of your life way more if you're in charge of those people who you want in it. If you want to start flexing your assertive muscles, tell people what you are doing and why. I called a lot of people out of my life when I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2020. This horrible time in my life really stopped me in my tracks and gave me the chance to stop and take a look at what was important. And some people weren't. We brought nothing of purpose to each other's lives, so I withdrew. It wasn't easy to do, and it does leave that kind of taint and stain in your brain and in your belly. But what I found with friendships is less really is more. And you'll know if you've been listening to my podcast, I don't have a huge bunch of people around me, but what I do have is so precious and so important. Getting rid of those people who don't serve you is a healthy way of putting in some boundaries, bringing back control, and starting to grow your own real self. Tip 6. How good are you at spending time alone? Some people may go, ooh, because they try to avoid being on their own, so they're not in their own heads. But if you can be in your own head a little bit more with your thoughts, cultivating the act of loving yourself for who you are, good, bad or ugly, it's such a fantastic way of developing yourself as a person. Focus on your own goals and values. What's important to you? Grab your journal and make a list of your aspirations, your career goals, your ambitions. Which very lovely brings me to tip number 7. You need to challenge yourself to try new things. Another way to stop worrying about other people's opinions is to challenge yourself with new experiences. Trying something new can help build your confidence and make you feel much more comfortable in your own skin. You know, when you achieve something, anything in life that perhaps you wouldn't have done or put yourself to, and you've achieved it, doesn't that feel fantastic? It puts those confidence coins straight back in your mental health bank. That's the end of episode 7. Thank you so much. There's 7 tips there. Some are going to work brilliantly, some not so. That's normal. Just use what you can and what works best for you. If you've liked what you've heard today, please do tell others and share this episode. If you loved what you heard, please rate the show. All your feedback, is welcome. Please email me. I really want to hear from you all. If you've got a question as well for me for next week's show, HeidiWeAreAllFine@gmail.com is the link from you to me. Let's look to episode 8, which is going to aim to explore the people pleaser personality type. If you're a person who disregards their own needs to please others and struggles with saying no, join me as I tell you why you're doing what you do and what choices you have if you'd like to change and become a little bit more assertive. It's not about not being kind to others. It's more about how you can focus some of that kindness inwards on yourself too. Subscribing to my podcast, it's easy, as is finding me on all the usual social media platforms. Come and check me out on TikTok, Instagram and Facebook. Your comments will be read, appreciated and replied to. We are all flawed, insecure, nervous and emotional, but always remember, be yourself, you are no one else. Until next time, take good care. Finally, some important takeaways. The podcast is for informational use only and should not be used as a substitution for professional advice or personal diagnosis. These opinions are personal and I do not guarantee the accuracy of such opinions or information. I am not intending to create a counselling relationship with you, and you should always consult a qualified mental health professional with any concerns.